Daniel was the kind of person everyone liked, but no one truly valued. He had a soft heart, always full of kindness, always ready to give, always ready to listen. If someone needed help, he was there. If someone felt sad, he was the one who stayed up all night talking to them. He believed that if he gave enough love, one day he would receive the same in return. But life had a different lesson waiting for him. Every morning, Daniel would wake up, and the first thing he did was check his phone. Not because he was busy, but because he was hoping to see a message, hoping that someone, somewhere, had thought about him. But most days, his screen was empty. No messages, no missed calls, just silence. Still, he convinced himself, maybe they're just busy. So he kept trying. He texted first, he called first, he cared first. Every single time. At first, it didn't hurt. He told himself, this is what good people do. This is what loyalty looks like. But slowly, the silence from others began to feel heavier. He noticed something painful. People only came to him when they needed something. Advice, support, help, company. He was always their first choice. But when he needed someone, suddenly, everyone was busy. One night, everything became too clear. Daniel was sitting alone in his room, the lights off, his phone glowing in the darkness. He opened a chat with someone he cared about deeply, someone he had always been there for. He typed slowly, "Hey, I just wanted to check on you. How are you?" He stared at the message for a moment before pressing send. Then he waited. Seconds passed. Minutes passed. Then finally, seen. His heart lifted for a second, but no reply came. He kept staring at the screen, hoping to see those three little dots, waiting for a response, waiting for something, but nothing happened. Just silence. Heavy, painful silence. And in that moment, Daniel realized something he had been avoiding for a long time. He was not as important to them as they were to him. That realization didn't come with anger. It came with pain. Quiet, deep pain. The kind that doesn't make noise, but breaks you slowly from the inside. He put his phone down, leaned back, and stared at the ceiling. For the first time, he asked himself a question he had never dared to ask before. Why am I always the one chasing? The next morning, Daniel woke up feeling empty. Not angry, not sad, just tired. Tired of trying, tired of waiting, tired of hoping. He decided to go outside, just to breathe. He walked to a small park nearby and sat on a bench, watching people pass by. Friends laughing together, couples talking, people sharing moments he wished he had. As he sat there, lost in his thoughts, an old man slowly walked toward him and sat beside him. The man had a calm presence, the kind that made you feel like he understood life in a way most people didn't. They sat in silence for a while, until the old man finally spoke. "You look like someone who gives too much and receives too little." Daniel was surprised. He turned slightly and looked at the man, wondering how a stranger could describe him so perfectly. He didn't say anything, but his silence was enough. The old man smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you something important. The moment you start begging for attention is the moment you forget your value." Those words hit Daniel deeply. The man continued, "People don't ignore you because you're not enough. They ignore you because you are always there, always available, always ready. And when something is always there, people stop appreciating it." Daniel listened carefully, every word sinking into his heart. "You don't need to chase people," the old man said. "What is meant for you will come to you. But you must learn to stand still and respect yourself enough to stop running after those who would never run after you." That moment changed something inside Daniel. He didn't suddenly become a different person. He was still kind, still caring, but for the first time, he began to understand that kindness without boundaries leads to pain, that giving without receiving leads to emptiness, and that love without respect is not love at all. From that day on, Daniel made a quiet decision. He stopped texting first, all the time. He stopped checking his phone every minute. He stopped trying to be important in the lives of people who clearly didn't see his value, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. At first, it was difficult. The silence felt louder than ever. His phone stayed quiet, and his mind kept telling him to go back, to message, to try again. But this time, he resisted. This time, he chose himself. Days passed, then weeks. Something strange began to happen. The same silence that once hurt him started to heal him. He felt lighter, calmer, more in control of his emotions. He started focusing on his own life, his goals, his growth, his happiness. He began to enjoy his own company, and for the first time in a long time, he felt peace. And then, just when he had stopped caring, people started noticing. Messages began to come in. "Hey, where have you been? You disappeared. We miss you." Daniel looked at those messages, but this time, he didn't feel excited. He didn't feel desperate. He didn't rush to reply, because now, he understood something powerful. Attention that comes when you stop begging for it is real. Respect that comes when you respect yourself is different. He realized that the problem was never that he wasn't enough. The problem was that he kept giving himself to people who didn't deserve him. And from that day forward, Daniel made a promise to himself. He would never beg for attention again. He would never chase people who made him feel invisible. And most importantly, he would never forget his worth again.